What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and the internet is the internet. It is what it is. You're never going to win putting out content for people, but I still like to try and cater to these people without selling out. So people always are like, oh, all you do is make videos about Glocks. You would get more followers if you did more videos not about Glocks. Guys, I have over 2,700 videos up with over 53 or 55 different handguns reviewed, as well as ARPs. There's a lot of content on my channel that people just aren't digging into, or they haven't been around, and that's not their fault. It's actually hard to navigate my channel and find what you want because of all the stuff. But here we are. We're going to talk about my favorite SIG, right? Even with the X-Macro out, and I have the frame and stuff like that. Oh, I do want to mention one thing about that. I made a video with the X-Macro grip module with the XL slide, right? People are like, that's not a real X-Macro. That's not true. That's not, it doesn't have the compensated barrel, blah, blah, blah. Guys, Sig just released that exact version, the uncompensated X-Macro. And guess what they called it, guys? The X-Macro, right? So does Sig owe me money for creating that, or yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna keep going on that, but that was my number one complaint about that. I'm like, that's why I called it a build at first. So like, that's not the true X-Macro. That's not the true X-Macro. I'm like, guys, it shoots very similar, and a lot of people don't like having all that gas coming out when you're trying to shoot. It can be a distraction. It can get in your way, and it can also get rid of that front sight. So in a self-defense encounter, do you really want all that blowing up as a distraction? Because honestly, you're not even going to be thinking about recoil on a self-defense encounter. But one thing that could affect you is all those gases coming up. But anyways, this is honestly my favorite setup from Sig. And I'm not a big Sig guy. I sold my P320 Compact. That's for other reasons. But I do like the P365. I do like the X-Macro. I do like the XL. But this is my favorite. And this is an XL grip module. Of course, I threw my Handle It Edge Series grips on. Because my number one complaint about the P365, other than this, which we'll get to, this rail, is the fact that there's no texture on them. They have a decent amount, but it wears out really quick after shooting. My number one complaint, though, is this right here. So if you notice on the Hellcat or other firearms, there's usually an indent there, even a memory pad that can help. It's huge because these do act as memory pads a little bit. Like, you'll remember to keep your thumb in this little indent, as well as this finger off the trigger in this little indent. But at the same time, when you're shooting, your thumb slides back and forth, right? And why can that be a problem? Because whoop. Now, I know a lot of people shoot SIGs, don't have this issue, but I like having something to keep my thumb buried in there while fighting recoil, especially on a smaller firearm like this. But with the XL grip, with the Handle Edge Series grips, very ergonomic. Of course, comes with the awesome Sig sights. They just work. They are what they are. And it's still a small package, 12 rounds in this tiny package, and I did put the X grip in there. I've heard mixed things about the X grip, but so far no issues, so I can't complain about it. It is what it is. Just a good overall firearm, and I do carry this from time to time. I carry it a lot in the summer just because of its size, its weight, and its shootability. This is probably one of the better shooting Micro 9s out there. I guess it's hard to say. There's a lot of good shooting Micro 9s out there, but this is definitely less snappier than the Hellcat. I do like the Hellcat trigger better, even though this is lighter. I just like a little heavier defensive trigger, but this is my favorite SIG that I carry. I'm not against any firearm brand. If you make a good firearm brand that I like, a good firearm model that I like, I'm not going to necessarily jump all on board like I do with Glock. The thing about Glock is the number one complaint about people who don't like Glock is that they make all the same firearm. So that means if you like one of their firearms, chances are you're going to like all of their firearms. Whereas all these other companies are making a bunch of different things, so therefore they have to change internals up. Therefore you run into issues. But so far, so good with this P365 build right here. Or just I put the X grip in there, XL grip module. Overall, a good firearm. I can't complain. If you carry a SIG, don't listen to people about the drop safety issue. That is not a SIG P365 thing. That's a P320 compact thing. The main issue with these at first were reliability issues, but they've cleared them up, and this is not that gen. I did have an out-of-spec spring on mine, but it was fixed real quick. Not a single issue since. I like this firearm. There's firearms that definitely would be in my carry rotation if I didn't have other ones. You know what I mean? I do like the Hellcat a little better than this. But I do trust this firearm when it comes to it. It's a great firearm. I can't deny it. I know there's a big rivalry between firearm brands, but guys, I'm for anything that works and anything you can protect yourself with, and I have nothing against this firearm. Like I said, ergonomic, smooth shooter, feels pretty decent. recoil wise for its size and weight. So yeah, I can't complain. That's a P365 XL. Thanks for watching.